Hi, I'm Ed O'Keefe, CBS News senior White House and political correspondent on the campaign trail in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, as Vice President Kamala Harris and her new running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, start touring the country.
Good evening, Philadelphia. Good afternoon, Wisconsin. Good evening, Detroit. Oh, it's good to be back in Arizona, as everyone in Nevada knows. So I thank you, North Carolina. We're going to get this done. Oh, it's good to be back in Savannah.
It's been quite a busy summer for those of us here at CBS News covering Campaign 2024. Consider all the things that have happened. A big debate.
Mr. Biden had hoped last night's debate would tip the race in his favor. Instead, today, he's facing calls to step aside.
We witnessed an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump and President Biden's historic decision to drop out of this race and allow his running mate, Kamala Harris, to take up the mantle instead.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
From now on, you'll hear a lot about voting in battleground states. How will the votes at play in those states evolve as the campaigns hit their busiest time? Remember, these states could sway the Electoral College votes that pave the road to the White House. First, let's see how the Harris campaign approached battleground state voters after announcing Walz as her running mate. The two toured battlegrounds with a pretty similar stump speech, which helps us discern how each stop addressed certain state priorities. In Pennsylvania, there was a nod to the popular governor, Josh Shapiro, who was also vetted for Harris's running mate, and who has influence with a crucial group of voters, union members.
I love being your governor. Thank you very much.
And it is so good to be here with your incredible governor, Josh Shapiro. And I will say, Josh is a dear, dear friend and an extraordinary leader. He and I have been spending a lot of time together over the years. And I told Josh, look, I am so invested in our friendship in doing this together, because together with Josh Shapiro, we will win Pennsylvania. We will win Pennsylvania.
In Wisconsin, Harris and Walz appealed to the amplitude of the Midwest and brought up IVF and abortion access.
I don't need you telling me about our health care. I don't need you telling us who we love. And I sure hell don't need you telling us what books we're going to read. And there's a very personal one for me, and that includes IVF. Some of you might have heard this. This is very personal for my wife and I. When Gwen and I decided to have children, we went through years of fertility treatments. And I remember each night praying that the call was going to come and it was going to be good news. The phone would ring, tenseness in my stomach, and then the agony when you heard the treatments hadn't worked. So it wasn't by chance that when we welcomed our first child, our beautiful daughter, we named her Hope. When Vice President Harris and I, and everyone here talks about freedom, we mean the freedom to make your own health care decisions.
Now more than 20 states in our country have a Trump abortion ban, many with no exceptions even for rape and incest. And if he wins, we all know he will sign a national abortion ban to outlaw abortion in every state, even in Wisconsin. But we are not going to let that happen. Unions know to be strength.
In Michigan,
It's about the collective.
the candidates held two events. One, addressing the United Auto Workers.
Let the people come together to negotiate so you make the balance. And then the outcome will be fair. And isn't that what we're talking about in this here election? We're saying we just want fairness. We want dignity for all people. We want to recognize the right all people have to freedom and liberty, to make choices, especially those that are about heart and home. and not have their government telling them what to do.
And in Arizona, a nod to Native Americans and inflation.
Here with us today, I know we have a number of Native leaders. And as president, I will tell you, I will always honor tribal sovereignty and respect tribal self-determination. And fight for a future where every Native person can realize their aspirations and every Native community is a place of opportunity. We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families so that they have the chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. Because look, while our economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it.
In nearby Nevada, a third nod to unions, this time hospitality workers.
And the Culinary Union, as everyone in Nevada knows, they have helped lead the way in our country for workers' rights and workers' dignity. And I have to say, for years, I've been so proud to work by your side. When I was Attorney General of California, we worked together to crack down on wage theft. When I was a United States Senator, we fought together for paid family leave and medical leave. And earlier this year, right here in Vegas, we celebrated your historic contract win. And it is my promise to everyone here, when I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America.
Harris stopped in North Carolina days after her tour with Walz after a weather-related cancellation. She rolled out her first economic policy proposals in Raleigh. Her answers for a prevalent voter issue in this campaign cycle, the economy.
I will work in partnership with industry to build the housing we need, both to rent and to buy. We will take down barriers and cut red tape, including at the state and local levels. And by the end of my first term, we will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. And we will do that together. We will do that together. And we will make sure those homes actually go to working and middle class Americans, not just investors.
And in Georgia, Harris and Walz toured the state by bus a couple of weeks after their battleground blitz.
We are fighting for a democracy. Everyone has a right and should have their voices heard. I am speaking now, but on the subject, I will say this. The president and I are working around the clock. We've got to get a hostage deal done and get a ceasefire done now.
Now let's take a look at CBS News polling. Vice President Harris and former President Donald Trump are essentially tied in battleground states, while Harris has an edge nationally. And here's how that breaks down in the key states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. Next, we'll look at how the Trump-Vance ticket is approaching battleground states. For now, I'm Ed O'Keefe. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with the 2024 battleground state fight here on CBS News.